What's going on, everybody? We're standing here on our 131 acre listing in Coffee Springs, Alabama. This property is an incredible hunting tract with investment potential. It's a turnkey tract, great road system, food plots that you still have time to plant your fall plots if you get into this property soon. Whether you're looking for a place to deer hunt, there's been big bucks killed in the area, huge turkey population. Double Bridges Creek is not far from this property, and the neighboring landowner has a big pond. So you have the water, there's the potential to have food here, there's pines, young pines for bedding, mature, there's a few hardwoods on the property. If you're looking for a place to quail hunt, it's hard to beat it. As you can see, this pine stand behind me would be absolutely perfect for it if it was managed. We've seen a few quail out here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw up the map and we'll kind of talk about what makes this such a good hunting property. I want to break this down for you on why this is a good hunting tract with the potential to be an excellent hunting tract, as well as having that potential investment income. So let's kind of talk about the investment side real quick. There's roughly 75 total acres of pines on it. There's 55 acres of dense planted pines, roughly 33 acres of 5 to 6 year old planted pines, and 22 acres of 10 to 12-year-old planted pines. And then there's also an additional 20 acres of mixed open pines. So why is this property such a good hunting tract? This property, or this area specifically, is known for incredible hunting. Deer and turkey. The turkey numbers in this area are absolutely crazy. It wouldn't take you long of driving down some of these dirt roads and county roads to see some turkeys. But anyways, you have two huge water sources, and the property is right in between them. You have Double Bridges Creek here. As you can see, it's a huge waterway that connects miles and miles of timber. So there's deer, turkeys, they're all traveling this, especially during the rut when they start roaming, they're working this up and down, checking these different ag fields. Then you have Bull Branch down here, which is almost as big as Double Bridges running along here. So you're surrounded by water. Your neighbor has a huge pond. There's a spring on your property. So water close by, and you can see there's ag fields close by. So there's summer food available for the deer to keep them in the area and the turkeys. But where I think this property could really shine is once October, November timeframe comes, all the crops that were planted on this property, on these properties, whether it was corn, peanuts, soybeans, cotton, they're all going to be out of there by that time frame, and there will be no food left around for the deer. And as you can see on your neighboring properties, that might be a food plot right there, but other than that, there's no major food sources close by. And there's already a few existing food plots on this property. There's these shooting lanes over here, which we can throw this picture up and check it out. All right. So this is what that side looks like over there. A mix of pines. You can see the shooting lanes that are cut through here. And personally, what I would do on this side is I would probably open up the majority of this little bowl right here and turn it into a 365-day food plot. Summer, fall plots, everything. That would be a major food source here for the deer all year long. And as you can see, let's get this off the screen. You can see that would be a substantial size over here on the map. And I mean, there's no food anywhere else. There's some cows out here, so this is year-round grazing, but that would be the closest food for a while. And then moving on the other side of the property, you have these three existing food plots already. This one down here is a pretty good size. It's close to that water. It's the one that's closer to the Double Bridges Creek. And I would probably make this one bigger as well, so you can have year-round food there for them. That food plot is this one here. So you can see here's your neighbor's pond right here and this food plot. And there's a lot of shrubby brush right here that you could honestly open this up and make it a lot bigger, add more food for the deer. And then you've got this food plot here that's
right in about the middle of the property. That it's just a good staging area. I wouldn't necessarily make this one bigger, but it's another good food source that's already on the property. This is what this one looks like. And you can see these younger pines right here is it's for years are going to be fantastic bedding for the deer. Um, as they start to get bigger and bigger, you'll want to burn them every couple of years, keep them well maintained. If you're looking at this property for the potential to quail hunt, that's here as well. Both sides, these younger pines right in this area would make great habitat, especially if these pines were burned. Let's pull that picture up for y'all. So you can see this would make excellent quail habitat. You can cut some more trails through here, make some walking lanes to shoot, and keep it burned, and those natives will hold the quail in this area. Where you see these pines over here, this has all been clear cut. Let's see if we can't get a picture pulled up. This is the back corner of the property. So we're just looking over here, but you can see all this over here has been clear cut. So if you wanted, you could go in somewhere on this side and add a food plot, but I'd probably just add a feeder, and make this year round bedding, kind of burn it every 2 to 3 years and keep that spot kind of isolated. It's just really good bedding. And if you're wanting a property with a pond, this section right here, the elevation drops down and there's a spring that's a year-round spring that runs through here. So if you wanted to do some pond construction, somewhere in this area would be a great location for it. There has been numerous deer and turkeys harvested on this property and in the surrounding areas. There's endless possibilities. That's just some of my ideas with this property. There's so much that you could do, so many different options and mapping it out. And it's a property that could grow with you over time. The more and more work you put into it, the more success that you'll have on the hunting end. And as time goes on, you're able to do select cuts, timber stand improvement kind of stuff, do some clear cuts, make some of that money back, as well as the price of land. It's not going down. So it's a solid investment alone, just being land, but then you have the timber on it. It's a great recreational track. I personally think that recreational tracks are going to continue to be more sought after as land keeps getting bought up. But overall, this is a view of the property. We'll jump over here into another listing side so you can see some more of the pictures. You can see this is that section that I was talking about being clear cut. That would be excellent bedding in this area. You could almost make this like a sanctuary and just leave it like that. But then there's also some stuff like you can see this road right here, and I'll show you it in a couple more pictures. But it would be a fantastic spot to set a shooting house up and have a really long shooting lane. Another view of the property. There's one of the food plots too, and then there's that side over here. Another one of the food plots. Here's one of the deer on the property. The neighbor ended up killing this deer last year. Fantastic deer. He's a great deer, but he doesn't even come close to some of the deer that have been harvested in this area. Really well maintained stand of pines. All these yellow trails marking the main trails. There's multiple other trails that go through here, smaller walking trails that we haven't even marked. So access, when it comes to hunting, access is key. You have multiple ways to access your spots. Easily walk into your stand, ride the side by side. However you want to get there, you can easily do it on this property already. It's a turnkey property with the potential to be even better in the coming years. That center food plot, looking back towards the dirt road, looking towards the neighbor's pond. This is that section that I said that I would personally probably open up and make into a large food source, whether I was planting corn or beans or something there in the summer for them, and then a fall plot. That's on this picture right here is from that side. Big group of does. Let's see if we can't get into some of those other pictures. Here's one of those trails that we were just talking about that's not marked. This is a smaller trail. You could easily drive it with a side by side. You may would need to clean up some of the limbs to drive it with a truck, but super easy walking trail. This is leading to one of the other smaller food plots. This is that section through here where he posted the picture of the pines talking about excellent quail habitat. It's about to the point where this needs to be burned, but if you were to run a fire through here every couple of years, it would benefit all the wildlife, but especially the quail. This is that section right there from the ground. Here's one of the smaller food plots that's marked. Same roads going through it, some more roads. This is that bigger food plot that's closer to the pond. You can see some of this shrubby stuff on the edges. It wouldn't take any time to get that cleaned up and expand the size of it. This is that area that I was talking about being bedding. Right now, it's like the perfect height for bedding. You probably got another year or so of it being like that. But if you were to burn it and rotate the fire, every couple of years, you would kind of maintain that, as well as introducing some native forage back to the area, adding more food for the deer, as well as creating great bedding and nesting habitat. Some of the bigger roads, you could drive a semi truck down. Some of these roads are so big. This is moving towards the middle section of the property, closer to where the spring is. This is where your hardwood mix is, as well as the more mature pine trees on the property. Um, really good deer sign back in here. We saw a few rubs and scrapes. Here's your main entrance off the dirt road to the property. There's a fence that's running down the dirt road. Get to this big road to show y'all. This is that bedding that we were talking about, and you could put a shooting house somewhere on this road. This is much further than it appears in this picture. It's probably a good 200 or 300 yards down to this bottom right here. As you can see, here is a better view. And this is looking back that way. So great place to have a shooting house. Right there at that intersection of those roads, you could really cover this. This would be excellent hunting during the rut. But yeah, overall, fantastic property. Already incredible hunting on the property, but could get even better depending on what your goals are. And that's something that we would be happy to help you with. This was just kind of a quick overview of it. If you have any more questions about this property in specific or would like to take a look at it, my phone number is 334-707-3962. If you prefer to reach me at email, my email is justinroberts@rfpropertiesforsale.com. I'll have all this information down below in the description, as well as a link to this property. So if there's anything I can ever help you with, whether it's buying or selling land in the state of Alabama, I would be happy to help you. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next property.